far are an open question. Even among Russian officials, there are conflicting reports on progress. The Kremlin saying this week that it planned to withdraw troops from the area around Kyiv, a regroup, as the Pentagon described it. Ukrainian officials say that process appears to be partially underway, although NBC News could not verify that reporting. Still, though, fighting continues across the area as Ukrainian forces reclaim some territory. Our Sky News colleague Alex Crawford was allowed into Irpin, near the capital. She filed this report.
Irpin is still far from safe, and we were taken into the town at speed with armed guards. This is the closest the Russians got to the capital, just a few kilometers away, and this is where they fought some of their most savage street battles. The fighting and bombing went on for more than a month. In parts of the town, there's hardly a building or home which is untouched. Ukrainian soldiers are still very much on red alert here. Stop. We're waved through, but they're extremely worried about any mines or traps the Russians may have left behind. And this is what is left of much of Irpin. What terror must have been felt by those living in these apartment blocks as shell after shell came raining in, mortar after mortar and heavy artillery. The place is littered with unexploded ordnance, in playgrounds, in residential forecourts. Nowhere was off limits and there was no mercy shown for Irpin's residents. All their lives have been altered beyond comprehension. Yet as we left, those remaining still showed incredible defiance and fortitude. Alex Crawford, Sky News, inside Irpin.
There's another major development to tell you about this afternoon. A regional governor in Russia, close to the border today, is accusing the Ukrainians of launching an airstrike using 2 helicopters flying very low to target an oil depot inside Russia. NBC News confirmed this video of the fire, but could not yet independently verify who was responsible for it. Ukraine's foreign minister said that he could not confirm or reject reports on his country's involvement. Joining us now for all the latest, NBC News correspondent Ali Arouzi, live for us in Lviv, Ukraine. It sounds trite to call it a busy day. You're at a country racked and assaulted and bombarded by the horrors of war. But I want to take these two developments separately and first ask you what your understanding and what the Ukrainian government's understanding is of this redeployment around Kyiv.
Hi, Nicole. That's right. They're also still deploying their troops away from Kyiv, but they're keeping the bulk of them there. There's been heavy fighting, as we heard from our Sky colleague Alex Crawford, that is still not a safe place in and around Kyiv. When I spoke to the mayor of Chernihiv today, he also said that some troops had left the Kyiv area, and they may have also left the Chernihiv area to go to the Donbass. But they're still dug in very heavily around Kyiv, and the fighting continues there, heavy shelling. But we've also heard reports that the Ukrainians have reclaimed some of the villages around Kyiv, around Chernihiv. They've re-established some vital supply lines as they keep that ferocious fight against the Russians going. And it is admirable to see. So even though the focus may be going to the Donbass region, clearly they haven't left Kyiv and Chernihiv alone whatsoever. The fighting continues there because they don't want to give up those areas. They've dug into defensive positions there, and they're probably going to maintain them. British intelligence said today that the Ukrainians had made some successes around Chernihiv and around Kyiv, pushing back the Russian troops and reclaiming several villages in those districts, but they're not significant. So there's still a lot of ground for the Ukrainians to fight for.
And in Mariupol, we've been talking almost since the earliest days of the war about the human calamity and the suffering there. Tell me the latest on the rescue, the humanitarian rescue efforts.
Well, it's again continues to be a disaster. The Red Cross said that it's essential to get many of those people, up to 170,000 people that have been hemmed in by the Russians there, out of there. Tens of thousands of lives are at stake. But of course, again, they couldn't get them out today. We heard some reports that some people managed to get out in private cars, getting the goodwill of other drivers piling into their cars to get out of there. But those are people that are just willing to risk risk it by themselves, and apparently the Russians let them out. But there was a convoy of buses that were meant to go in to bring people out, and those convoy was also supposed to carry a lot of much-needed humanitarian aid into Mariupol, and the Russians didn't let them take that in. I mean, it's unconscionable to think about it, that aid, food, water, nothing that they have in Mariupol, the Russians wouldn't allow this into the city. I mean, it defies understanding why they wouldn't let civilians, women, children, the elderly get these essential supplies. So people are getting dehydrated in Mariupol, and the most vulnerable, pregnant women, elderly people that need water, that need food, are not getting it there. The Red Cross was very clear that the Russians said to them that this aid is not allowed to go into Mariupol, nor did they let people out. So no aid allowed in, no people allowed in. Humanitarian crisis carries on to grow in Mariupol, and a similar situation is